Welcome to Joe's Astrology. This is the birth chart for Miss Cleo. She was a psychic, a tarot reader, and a TV personality. And there's a documentary on her if you haven't seen it. I think it's a documentary. I would check that out if you're interested in Miss Cleo, or if this reading sparks your interest. Very interesting story around tarot and psychics. I'm not sure when it was, in the 80s or 90s when she was around, but she has a Virgo rising, moon in Capricorn, and a sun in Leo, conjunct the North Node in the 11th house. So we think TV personality, technology, and there's the sun with Uranus in the 11th house with the North Node. So I'm thinking with the 11th house being like an Aquarius house with the television. She also has Saturn down there in Aquarius in the 5th. You could see her. You could think of Saturn as being her work. It's retrograde, so it's really pointing to that Uranus there in Leo. And in the 5th, she's expressing herself through something like psychism or tarot, something different, odd, unique there with Aquarius in the 5th. She has Jupiter in the 6th, her area of work here, and Jupiter being the planet of teaching or spirituality in its own sign where it likes to be in Pisces, and that's what she did for her work. She was a spiritual teacher in a sense. Jupiter in the 6th in Pisces. It's also making an aspect to almost exact aspect, semi-sextile to Saturn there in the 5th, and it's making a sextile to Moon in the 4th. So that's a very powerful moon there in the night side of the chart and in the 4th house. Even though it's in Capricorn where the moon is in its fall, it's in the 4th, and it's on the night side of the chart, and making a sextile to Jupiter. So there's an opportunity here to be a teacher, to be a spiritual teacher, and to be with Capricorn there. Really, you could think of it as she was someone who had high status in working with people's emotions and being kind of like an emotional crutch for them, or someone they looked towards when they were going through difficult times and they needed a mother or a father figure to look to help them. And you could see here Moon in Capricorn in the 4th, mother and father, Moon being the mother. Of course, she had the sun in Leo, and that was what drew the attention, just being that big Leonian personality. She also has Mars here in the 10th. So really for her, that drive to be maybe to be a father figure to people, or a mother to people. And with Mars there near the MC, I mean, Jeff Bezos has that. And I talk about billionaires having this emphasized Mars, especially in the 10th. And it's in Gemini. It's in the Aquarius decan. You could think of someone who is using, whether she's doing it consciously or not, using all of this to gain status and become famous. And if you don't know anything about her show, she, maybe not in the beginning, but eventually when you would call her hotline, you would never get Miss Cleo. You would get one of her tarot readers who were very much beginners. So she was known as someone who was very talented, skilled. I think that Mars and Gemini in the Aquarius decan. However, when you called to get her, you would never actually speak to her. And that's right, you really see that Gemini function of kind of being a trickster in that sense. She has Venus in the first in Libra. Very attractive person, attractive, maybe seen as an attractive personality. You can see her Venus is also squaring the moon. And Venus in Libra, Mars in Gemini, Saturn in Aquarius, Grand Trine in Air. Not to say again she was a trickster, but she's all over the place. To do these things, you're using this is the these are the signs of intelligence, mental ability, to be very airy, and her business was very much like that. Television. See if she has Neptune here in the second, your house of values and money. You see the second house ruler, the house that rules her house, or the sign that rules her house of money is Libra, and it comes back to Venus in the first. So you can see she makes her money through herself, through promotion of self. Back to this Uranus. Look at this Uranus conjunct Mercury. If she was using the internet today, if she was on YouTube, she'd be 3 million views, 3 million subscribers at least. With that Uranus Mercury, about that 11th house, you can see Uranus is in conjunct the Saturn, trining the moon. It's making a quintile to Neptune. Quintile is like a talent, so you can see she's very talented in using that, using the Neptune and using that Uranus with the television and spirituality together. She also has the Jupiter. I just did Ellen DeGeneres, Jupiter, Neptune trine. Just talked about that. Often you see with famous people or people that have big personalities, big businesses. You can think of Neptune as corporations, big corporations, Jupiter, Neptune. Ruler of a chart is Mercury too. Ruler of a chart is Mercury. It's in Virgo where it likes to be. So you can tell she's good at analyzing people. And with her being considered a psychic, I'm not sure that she was psychic. I watched a documentary a while ago. I can't remember what I saw. How psychic she was. If we were going to look for a psychic, we could look at Pluto and see that she has a 12th house Pluto, which I would say is, if you're looking at a psychic, where would Pluto be? It'd be in the 12th. It would be in the 8th. It would be in the 4th. It would be in the water houses. It is making a trine to the moon that's in the 4th. It's making an opposition to Jupiter, which is in Pisces. She does have Neptune in Scorpio. She does have that Neptune trine Jupiter. She's got Neptune sextile Moon, Neptune square Saturn, and then the quintile to Uranus and a square to the Sun, and also a square to the nodes. So you can see here with all this emphasis on the North Node, and Neptune is moving towards the South Node, that there really is a big emphasis on this North Node with making money off of spirituality. And, maybe you could say, if you're into past lives, this could be a person who had been working on her psychism, but never really made a lot of money, or had been working on making money off of psychism, and didn't really, didn't really achieve what she wanted to achieve here with Mars in the 10th. So that's Miss Cleo. Check her out, and check out my other videos on astrology readings that I've done for famous people. Lots of good chart readings there, and hundreds of videos on astrology. And I hope you enjoyed this reading of Miss Cleo.